Good evening or afternoon. Welcome. Welcome back to The Longing. So you may notice something a little different with the audio as I am trying out some audio improvements post-recording to see if I can remove any of the background noise that I've been noticing. I've been doing a little tinkering, trying to learn how to do it in the first place. So this episode, now that I've got a little bit more time, as I finished work earlier and I'm getting this recording done earlier, I can spend a bit more time playing around with some settings, see if I can get one that I can quickly apply across the board in the future, which should hopefully improve the quality of the recordings in general. So with that in mind, I should have probably I dreamed about a place beyond this cave. No, what? I think I broke it. What? I'm not entirely sure what we just did there, but we did something. What was I saying? Something along the lines of... no. Yeah, it was something along the lines of working out some preset things that I can use to improve the quality of these recordings going forwards. And hopefully it'll allow me to apply them to any other videos I decide to make, because in theory the audio profile should be the same. Yeah. So hopefully there is a bit of an improvement in the audio quality. Oh, literally just started the game and already yawning. So we're going to do a little bit more digging as per usual. And then we are going to we're going to see if we can find see if we can get further through the book Thus Spoke Zarathustra, because we are really getting close to the end of that now. Yeah, so hopefully we just stopped for no reason. Hopefully, I need to stop saying hopefully, but whatever. We'll get to the end of that book pretty soon, so we can move on to one of the other ones, aka probably Moby Dick. Oh, excuse me. Oh, with yet another yawn. I wonder how much further this goes down. Could be any amount of distance. There is actually the area off to the right. Oh my word. I don't know why, but this game just makes me yawn like mad. Oh, we're on another flat bit. Yeah, there is the area off to the right that we still need to investigate, that that we needed to wait until a week had passed, I think it was. So that a rock could fall or something. We do need to check that out at some point as well. I'm also going to continue restart doing some random walking in the not too distant future, just so that we can potentially find unknown locations again. or areas where I can use the mattock that I may have otherwise forgotten about. Really does take a while to dig this out, doesn't it? I mean, it is a cave, so I suppose it makes sense that it takes a while. Oh, the camera's moving. Huh. I wonder why it didn't move before. Very strange. But we are making our way ever so slowly through, digging more and more of the cave out. But I do have to wonder just how much of the cave is left to dig out. And at that, I think I will actually stop digging for today, because we have made quite decent progress. We've reached a flat bit. Yeah. Let's read some more of Thus Spoke Zarathustra. Maybe we'll have time to get to the end. Let's read the book. "18. Old and young women. Why stealest thou along so furtively in the twilight, Zarathustra? And what hidest thou so carefully under thy mantle? Is it a treasure that hath been given thee, or a child that hath been born thee? Or goest thou thyself on a thief's errand, thou friend of the evil?" "Verily, my brother," said Zarathustra, "it is a treasure that hath been given me. It is a little truth which I carry. But it is naughty, like a young child, and if I hold not its mouth, it screameth too loudly. As I went on my way alone today, at the hour when the sun declineth, there met me an old woman, and she spake thus unto my soul. Much hath Zarathustra spoken also to us women, but never spake he unto us concerning woman. And I answer her, concerning woman, one should only talk unto men. Talk also unto me of woman, said she. I am old enough to forget it presently. And I obliged the old woman and spake thus unto her. Everything in woman is a riddle, and everything in woman hath one solution. It is called pregnancy." I'm not really sure I like where this book is going, but it is an old book. "Man is for woman a means. The purpose is always the child. But what is woman for man? Two different things wanteth the true man, danger and diversion. Therefore wanteth he woman, as the most dangerous plaything. Man shall be trained for war, and woman for the recreation of the warrior. All else is folly. Two sweet fruits, these the warrior liketh not. Therefore liketh he woman. Bitter is even the sweetest woman. Better than man doth woman understand children, but man is more childish than woman. In the true man there is a child hidden. It wanteth to play. Up then, ye women, and discover the child in man. A plaything let woman be, pure and fine like the precious stone, illumined with the virtues of a world not yet come. Let the beam of a star shine in your love. Let your hope say, may I bear the Superman. In your love let there be valour. With your love shall ye assail him who inspireth you with fear. In your love be your honour. Little doth woman understand otherwise about honour, but let this be your honour, always to love more than ye are loved, and never be the second. Let man fear woman when she loveth, then maketh she every sacrifice, and everything else she regardeth as worthless. Let man fear woman when she hateth, for man in his innermost soul is merely evil. Woman, however, is mean. Whom hateth women most? Thus spake the iron to the lodestone. I hate thee most, because thou attractest, but art too weak to draw unto thee. The happiness of man is I will. The happiness of woman is he will. Lo, now hath the world become perfect. Thus thinketh every woman when she obeyeth with all her love. This is very sexist. It's at the moment. Obey must the woman, and find a depth for her surface. Surface is woman's soul, a mobile, stormy film on shallow water. A man's soul, however, is deep. Its current gusheth in subterranean caverns. Woman surmiseth its force, but comprehendeth it not. Then answered me the old woman, Many fine things hath Zarathustra said, especially for those who are young enough for them. Strange, Zarathustra knoweth little about women, and yet he is right about them. Doth this happen because with women nothing is impossible? And now accept a little truth by way of thanks. I am old enough. Swaddle it up and hold its mouth, otherwise it will scream too loudly, the little truth. Give me, woman, thy little truth, said I, and thus spake the old woman. Thou goest to women? Do not forget thy whip. Wait, what? Thus spake Zarathustra. What? That whole chapter was very sexist. 19. The Bite of the Adder. One day had Zarathustra fallen asleep under a fig tree, owing to the heat, with his arms over his face. And there came an adder and bit him in the neck, so that Zarathustra screamed with pain. When he had taken his arm from his face, he looked at the serpent, and then did it recognize the eyes of Zarathustra, wriggled awkwardly, and tried to get away. Not at all, said Zarathustra. As yet hast thou not received my thanks. Thou hast awakened me in time. My journey is yet long. Thy journey is short, said the adder sadly. My poison is fatal. Zarathustra smiled. When did ever a dragon die of a serpent's poison, said he. But take thy poison back. Thou art not rich enough to present it to me. Then fell the adder again on his neck, and licked his wound. When Zarathustra once told this to his disciples, they asked him, What, O Zarathustra, is the moral of thy story? And Zarathustra answered them thus, The destroyer of morality, the good and just call me. My story is immoral. When, however, ye have an enemy, then return him not good for evil, for that would abash him, but prove that he hath done something good to you. And rather be angry than abash any one. And when ye are cursed, it pleaseth me not that ye should then desire to bless. Rather curse a little also. And should a great injustice befall you, then do quickly 5 small ones besides. Hideous to behold is he on whom injustice presseth alone. Did ye ever know this? Shared injustice is half justice, and he who can bear it shall take the injustice upon himself. A small revenge is humaner than no revenge at all, and if the punishment be not also a right and an honour to the transgressor, I do not like your punishing. Nobler is it to own oneself in the wrong than to establish one's right, especially if one be in the right. Only one must be rich enough to do so. I do not like your cold justice. Out of the eye of your judges there always glanceth the executioner and his cold steel. Tell me, where find we justice, which is love with seeing eyes? Devise me, then, the love which not only beareth all punishment, but also all guilt. Devise me then the justice which acquitteth every one, except the judge. And would ye hear this likewise? To him who seeketh to be just from the heart, even the lie becometh philanthropy. But how could I be just from the heart? How can I give every one his own? Let this be enough for me. I give unto every one mine own. Finally, my brethren, guard against doing wrong to any anchorite. How could an anchorite forget? How could he requite? Like a deep well is an anchorite. Easy is it to throw in a stone. If it should sink to the bottom, however, tell me, who will bring it out again? Guard against injuring the anchorite. If ye have done so, however, well then, kill him also. Thus spake Zarathustra. 20. Child and marriage. I have a question for thee alone, my brother. Like a sounding lead, cast I this question into thy soul, that I may know its depth. Thou art young and desirous child and marriage, but I ask thee, art thou a man entitled to desire a child? Art thou the victorious one, the self-conqueror, the ruler of thy passions, the master of thy virtues? Thus do I ask thee. Or doth the animal speak in thy wish and necessity, or isolation, or discord in thee? I would have thy victory and freedom long for child. Living monuments shalt thou build to thy victory and emancipation. Beyond thyself shalt thou build, but first of all must thou be built thyself, rectangular in body and soul. Not only onward shalt thou propagate thyself, but upward. For that purpose may the garden of marriage help thee. A higher body shalt thou create, a first movement, a spontaneously rolling wheel. A creating one shalt thou create. Marriage, so call I the will of the twain, to create the one that is more than those who created it. The reverence for one another, as those exercising such a will, call I marriage. Let this be the significance and the truth of thy marriage, but that which the many too many call marriage, those superfluous ones, what shall I call it? The poverty of soul in the twain. The filth of soul in the twain. The pitiable self-complacency in the twain. Marriage they call it all, and they say their marriages are made in heaven. Well, I do not like it, that heaven of the superfluous. No, I do not like them, those animals tangled in the heavenly toils. Far from me also be the God who limpeth thither to bless what he hath not matched. Laugh not at such marriages. What child hath not had reason to weep over its parents? Worthy did this man seem, and ripe for the meaning of the earth. But when I saw his wife, the earth seemed to me a home for madcaps. Yea, I would the earth shook with convulsions when a saint and a goose mate with one another. This one went forth in quest of truth as a hero, and at last got for himself a small decked-up lie. His marriage he calleth it. That one was reserved in intercourse, and chose choicely. But one time he spoilt his company for all time. His marriage he calleth it. Another sought a handmaid with the virtues of an angel, but all at once he became the handmaid of a woman, and now he would need also to become an angel. Careful, have I found all buyers, and all of them have astute eyes, but even the astutest of them buyeth his wife in a sack. Many short follies, that is called love by you, and your marriage putteth an end to many short follies, with one long stupidity. Your love to woman, and woman's love to man, would that it was sympathy for suffering, and veiled deities. But generally two animals alight on one another. Dear God. But even your best love is only an enraptured smile, and a painful ardour. It is a torch to light you to loftier paths. Beyond yourselves shall ye love some day. Then learn first of all to love, and on that account ye had to drink the bitter cup of your love. Bitterness is in the cup even of the best love. Thus doth it cause thirst in. Thus doth it cause longing for the Superman. Thus doth it cause the thirst in thee, the Creating One. Thirst in the Creating One, arrow and longing for the Superman. Tell me, my brother, is this thy will to marriage? Wholly call I such a will, and such a marriage. Thus spake Zarathustra. 21. Voluntary death. Many die too late, and some die too early. Yet strange soundeth the precept, die at the right time. Die at the right time, so teacheth Zarathustra. To be sure, he who never liveth at the right time, how could he ever die at the right time? Would that he might never be born. Thus do I advise the superfluous ones. But even the superfluous ones make much ado about their death, and even the hollowest nut wanteth to be cracked. Every one regardeth dying as a great matter, but as yet death is not a festival. Not yet have people learned to inaugurate the finest festivals. The consummating death I show unto you, which becometh a stimulus and promise to the living. His death dieth the consummating one triumphantly, surrounded by hoping and promising ones. Thus should one learn to die, and there should be no festival at which such a dying one doth not consecrate the oaths of the living. Thus to die is best. The next best, however, is to die in battle and sacrifice a great soul. But to the fighter equally hateful as to the victor is your grinning death, which stealeth nigh like a thief, and yet cometh as master. My death, praise I unto you, the voluntary death, which cometh unto me because I want it. And when shall I want it? He that hath a goal and an heir wanteth death at the right time, for the goal and the heir. And out of reverence for the goal and the heir, he will hang up no more withered wreaths in the sanctuary of life. Verily not the rope makers will I resemble. They lengthen out their cord, and thereby go ever backward. Many a one also waxeth too old for his truths and triumphs. A toothless mouth hath no longer the right to every truth. And whoever wanteth to have fame must take leave of honour betimes, and practise the difficult art of going at the right time. One must discontinue being feasted upon when one tasteth best. That is known by those who want to be long loved. Sour apples are there, no doubt, whose lot is to wait until the last day of autumn, and at the same time they become ripe, yellow, and shrivelled. In some ageth their heart first, and in others the spirit, and some are hoary in youth, but the late young keep long young. To many men life is a failure, a poison worm gnaweth at their heart. Then let them see to it that their dying is all the more a success. Many never become sweet, they rot even in the summer. It is cowardice that holdeth them fast to their branches. Far too many live, and far too long hang they on their branches. Would that a storm came, and shook all this rottenness and worm-eatenness from the tree. Would that there came preachers of speedy death. Those would be the appropriate storms and agitators of the trees of life. But I hear only slow death preached, and patience with all that is earthly. Ah, ye preach patience with what is earthly. This earthly is it that hath too much patience with you, ye blasphemers. That made no sense as a sentence. Verily too early died that Hebrew whom the preachers of slow death honour, and to many hath it proved a calamity that he died too early. As yet had he known only tears, and the melancholy of the Hebrews, together with the hatred of the good and just, the Hebrew Jesus. Then was he seized with the longing for death. Had he but remained in the wilderness, and far from the good and just, then perhaps would he have learned to live, and love the earth, and laughter also. Believe it, my brethren, he died too early. He himself would have disavowed his doctrine had he attained to my age. Noble enough was he to disavow. But he was still immature. Immaturely loveth the young youth, and immaturely also hateth he man and earth. Confined and awkward are still his soul and the wings of his spirit. But in man there is more of the child than in the youth, and less of melancholy. Better understandeth he about life and death, free for death, and free in death. A holy naysayer, when there is no longer time for yea. Thus understandeth he about life, about death and life, that your dying may not be a reproach to man and the earth, my friends. That do I solicit from the honey of your soul. In your dying shall your spirit and your virtue still shine like an evening afterglow around the earth. Otherwise your dying hath been unsatisfactory. Thus will I die myself, that ye friends may love the earth more for my sake, and earth will I again become, to have rest in her that bore me. Verily a goal had Zarathustra, he threw his ball. Now be ye friends the heirs of my goal, to you throw I the golden ball. Best of all do I see you, my friends, throw the golden ball. And so tarry I still a little while on the earth, pardon me for it. Thus spake Zarathustra. I think I'm going to stop it there, because I'm getting a little bit dizzy for some reason. So I'm going to end the reading there. And yeah, hopefully this one will sound a little bit better than it has done previously, because I'm going to be tinkering. Excuse me. Apologies for all the yawning. But as I say, I'm going to be tinkering with the audio in order to get rid of a little bit of the background hum, which I think is coming from my computer. But we shall see how it works out. And with that, I'm going to say thank you very much for joining. Have a wonderful morning, evening, afternoon or night. No matter what time of day it is, have a wonderful one of it. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.